and welcome back to the It's Time podcast. I'm Mariah, that bitch is Kaylee, and welcome to the show. Today is going to be a very low energy ep. I just don't have it in me today to be my entertaining self. I'm like on the verge of tears, so I'm probably going to cry in this episode. I'm already starting to cry, so
it's all right. Let's let it out. It's cathartic. Didn't we just talk about that a couple episodes ago?
Yeah.
Let's cry.
I think we did, yeah. We are in a different location, as you can tell. It's actually in the same house. We're just in a different room today. For reasons, let's just say it's because we wanted to be on the couch. Let's just say that's the reason.
That's why.
Because it's actually kind of nice to be right here. It's not the worst setting.
No,
actually.
It's pretty comfy, I will say.
It's definitely a bigger space.
Took a little less work, too.
It definitely took less work. We don't have to carry a door in this time.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, R.I.P. to the door. We're never going to have to do that again, though.
R.I.P. to the door. No more door. Today's episode is going to be very just chatty. We're going to talk about anxiety in this episode. So trigger warning about that. I know that it's helpful a lot of the time to talk about anxiety. Sometimes it's hard, though. I am the type of person that's kind of both. I think it's helpful a lot of the time to hear people talk about their anxiety, but sometimes it makes my anxiety worse when I hear people talk about it. So It's up to you on that. But it is the Monday after Halloween weekend part 1, I guess, depending on if you're celebrating.
It's a two-parter.
Both weekends. I don't know. Halloween is on a Thursday this year. I feel like I'm good.
Yeah. I've had my fill.
I feel like I'm down to have a mellow Halloween and lay low this coming weekend, because it wasn't even that I like partied super hard or even had that much to drink, but alcohol just affects me in such a bad negative way. It makes my anxiety so bad. Like I get the worst anxiety when I drink, so but I didn't even drink that much.
Isn't it crazy though how we both are very aware of how alcohol affects us? And I actually think both of us go in and out of phases of like how conscious we are of that. We'll be like, oh, well, no, I know this, so I'm not going to really drink. And then there are other times where we're like, it's worth it, or like, for whatever reason, we do it anyway, even though we know what's coming.
I just think it does nothing good for me.
Yeah.
Ever. So, honestly, on Saturday night, Kaylee threw a party right here at her house, and I don't know, when everyone was here, how many people do you think it was when it was the most?
At its peak, like 20 to 25.
Okay. It felt like a lot. I mean, that is a lot, but it definitely felt like a lot when you're literally like walking through the space and it's like you're like having to weave through a crowd. It feels like, oh, this is a fucking lot of people.
Well, I also like I don't have a very open floor plan, so like if you get near my hallway, you're like you're locked in.
It's kind of like helpful to make it feel more like full though.
Yeah,
because it felt like at one point it was like, oh my God,
there's so many people.
So many people. The garage is full. The living room's full. There's people up and down the hall. Like, whoa. Let's just say some shit went down. We're gonna tell the story. We're not gonna name names. Hopefully, she's okay with us telling this story. I mean, you come to a podcaster's party. I feel like it's
kind of iconic. To be fair,
it is, and I think she's okay. She's also,
she's okay. I talked to her yesterday. You talked to her yesterday.
Yeah, she's a younger of age, of course, but younger. And I think when you're in your early 20s, and I think stuff like that happens more often because you just don't know what your limit is. And when you're at a party where you don't know anyone, I've definitely been in that situation where I'm like
so sure
drinking because I'm anxious. I don't know anyone here. So you're
most of the time I end up having like a bad drunken night is because for whatever reason I was like extra anxious and drinking more.
The social anxiety makes you kind of,
and I don't know if that's what it was for her, but that's what it would have been for me.
Right, same. So let's start at the beginning of the night.
Start from the start.
Start from the top. Kaylee's friend came into town. It
Yeah.
very much started as like, oh wow, what is the night gonna be? Like,
Yeah,
who's
we were
actually
like
gonna come.
we were
invited
so
a lot of people.
stressed about it, actually. We were like worried about
It's
how many people
stressful
were
to
going to
be
be there.
a host when, especially because like we don't have one giant friend group. We have like a lot of little groups from different things. Like one of the groups is big that we know from like purely through my cousins and like parties. Then we haven't really hung out with them in like a casual setting. Some of them that we invited are from like the gym I go to, and some people that we had met at a concert a week ago.
Yeah.
Like, it was very random.
Some people from the group.
Right.
Like some people I work with. Some like
yeah, it was a lot of random.
It was just a mixed
people into one space, which is always like a little stressful when you're the person that's the connector.
I think when that comes down to it, and we'll talk about it more, I'm sure. I think that's what like made it hard for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my friend came in town. We picked him up. We did like some last minute stuff around here, like decorated everything outside, and
the decor was on point.
Got everything all ready. Yeah, it looked super cute.
Like all the lights were red, so the lighting was really cool. The garage was turned into like a dive bar vibes. There was pool and beer pong and darts out there. I don't know if anyone played darts, probably for the best.
Yeah.
Because they're real darts.
And they're new, so they're sharp.
They're sharp guys.
They're sharp.
It started pretty slow, as most parties do, you know, in the beginning. I hate the beginning of a party.
I hate the beginning of a party.
You're like,
to the point where we texted like a lot of people kind of to come earlier.
That's the key, I think, is you need your like besties here early so that when people start like showing up like 2 at a time, 1 at a time, it's like
it doesn't feel so awkward.
It's not awkward. And I don't know, like
feels like the party's already going to
some people came really on time, which is so funny to me. I'm like, damn, you guys came on time.
Sorry. Like so on time.
The party won't be up and going for like at least another hour. Like if the party starts at 9, it's not going to be a party till 10.
Yeah.
But they were people that were close to, so it wasn't bad. But I just was like very much like stressed in the beginning because and so I was just like walking around and like doing stuff, like trying to keep myself busy in the way because I'm just like I don't know.
I just felt like I spent my whole night like literally just walking from room to room to room, like checking on people and like making sure everyone was having fun.
I like did a lot of hiding. Like sometimes I was like, I'm just gonna go into this room and sit down for a sec. But then someone would always like find you, and then other people would find you. You can never really escape fully.
It's not a very big house.
You can never actually escape. At one point, I did go.
She's like, I'm hiding. There's like 3 rooms.
I did go into your room and like close the door though, like a few times. But then, like our friends knew that was the one room where you probably could close the door and hide. So then like other people caught on to that. And then it became like the crying room or the like I'm dead, I need to get away room. Like I don't know. It was just, and I genuinely did not drink that much. I was more so high, which I actually am better. I think that's what I need to just do is weed is my friend. I don't have a bad come down from weed. Weed is different for everyone. For me, it helps me. I'm more social. I'm more talkative. So it definitely depends on the person, but learning your strengths.
Yeah, learning your strengths is
and
crazy.
I think it's probably best for me to have 1 drink and weed. And
yeah.
I don't need more than that. Like, people were taking shots, and I was like, literally never. You will not get me doing a vodka fucking shot. I will literally
crazy
throw up just thinking about it.
Yeah, that's very much been my kick lately is a gummy and a drink or 2.
It's like you don't need to get drunk.
I don't feel like shit in the morning.
I just don't need to get drunk these days. Actually, I don't.
I love that for you.
I just don't. And like, I love like a night when you're drunk and having fun. That's actually so fun. I have nothing against that. It's what comes after it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I have 2 days of anxiety-ridden dread and like feeling like I'm gonna die, that's not fun. I don't want to do that.
And it's not worth whatever night you had. You know, you could have had a fun night.
I can have a fun night without
drunk.
that. But it does.
Honestly, it's also super fun when everyone else is on that drunken level.
True.
And you're not like you're just like happy and like vibing.
That's true. And there's
so
no
you get to play into it.
Drunk.
Yes.
And so you're not anxious because it's like what is that? When everyone else is drunk and having fun, I'm not stressed.
Yeah. because I know that they're not in a mindset to be judging me.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I fucking don't know.
Yeah.
But basically, the night escalated pretty fucking fast. We had a new friend here. And do we want to tell anything else before we just tell that story?
No, I feel like it was like pretty good vibes. It was very much, it just felt like things were just starting to get going. And then all of a sudden
That
it was
seems
like,
to always happen. Not even everyone was here yet. It was like, wait, had they gotten here yet, the big group? They hadn't gotten here yet.
Yes, they had. They had just gotten here because when I was cleaning the bathroom, they like wanted to use the bathroom.
Right. So it first started, we were like, some of us were in the hall, you were dancing in the dance room. So one of the rooms was literally a dance floor. And I was like standing in the doorway of that.
Furniture for that room yet. So it works out pretty well.
And so one of our friends was like opening the bathroom to go in there, and all I heard was, "Oh my God." And I was like, and I just glanced in, and I just looking in the bathroom, I was like, what the fuck? And she was like, "Oh my God, the faucet." And I like literally was like, "Kaylee."
It was very much like that. You know that tone
Kaylee.
Of just when someone says your name, you know.
Yeah, you literally like
it was like it was like
time. Yeah.
The way you said it was very much like, I don't want to say this to you because I know it's gonna be upset. Like, Kaylee.
It was like that. It was
Kaylee.
Like, Kaylee.
And I walked in. The faucet. Well, here's my theory. I think
this is it too.
This person was like super drunk and like stumbled and like knocked the faucet and then fell.
Like, you know how faucets can like, you can move
swivel?
It. Yeah. So it's like swiveled.
It swiveled, so it wasn't over the sink anymore. And then I think they either like fell into the bathtub or knocked it just enough, like stepped on stepped onto the curtain or something. So the shower curtain is knocked down. It's in the tub. And then the faucet is spraying all over the counter, which is now completely wet, and then it's all over the floor. And
good thing we caught it when we did, because
it could have
flooded
been bad.
Out into the hall onto the hardwood. Is your bathroom hardwood?
My bathroom floor already needs to be replaced because it's rotting. So.
Well then, hey. Basically, we're like, we need more towels, and I'm like in the hallway grabbing
that
towels
wouldn't have
out of
like
the
ruined anything.
Closet and passing towels in there. And at that point,
I actually remember feeling relieved because I just was like, oh, like someone. We didn't really know what happened in there. We didn't know about this girl yet either. So we were just like,
going on in the room next door, which is crazy. That was literally right there, and we didn't know yet.
Yeah. So I remember being kind of relieved. I was like, oh, she said my name like that, and it's like, oh, it's just water on the floor. Like,
it's not the end of the world.
We're gonna be all right.
It looked like, looking in there, seeing the water on the ground and the shower curtain, it looked like, I thought maybe there would be throw up everywhere too. Yeah. But luckily there was no throw up.
No, it was just water, thank God. And then
it was the same friend that found it that went, you guys, like, there's someone not doing well in the room we normally shoot in.
In the pod room, in the studio.
She was on the,
she's literally like,
was she like that when you first went there?
Yes.
When I went in there, she was sitting like this, with the pillow on her lap, and she was like slumped over like that. And I was
so that's why that pillow had throw up.
Yeah, and like when our friend went in there, she started like, I think she literally at first like went to catch the throw up with her hands.
Oh no, she did, because at one point she was like, I literally have vomit on my hands.
Yeah.
She's a nurse.
She was like, we need a bucket, we need something. And so I like come running out into the kitchen like, I need a puke bucket. And I'm like looking around, I can't find anything. We had made a mixed drink in a cauldron earlier that the drink was gone. So I was like, I'll just fucking grab the cauldron. So I fucking grabbed the cauldron and run back there, and I'm like, here, she can puke in this. Cause I'm like, I don't fucking know what to grab. Like, I probably could have grabbed a trash can, but like when you're in, I don't know, it's in that mode of just like whatever I see, I'm taking back there, because at this point, better the cauldron than
literally anywhere else.
All over the
room. Who cares about the cauldron? It's easy to clean.
Yeah,
like what?
It's fine. But by the time I think I got back there with the cauldron, they were trying to move her.
Well, she had already vomited in a wine glass. I have like a bar cart back there. Someone must have given her literally like a stemless. That's a small
hole.
There's vomit in this wine glass. So many people were like being sweet and helping though.
Yeah, everyone jumped into
one of our friends is like
help mode.
Severely like it's a phobia.
Yeah, there's a word for it.
Yeah.
Where it's not like, like
emetophobia or something like that.
I'm grossed out by throw up, but it's different. It's a completely
It's not grossed out. It's like...
I need to be out of this vicinity if there's throw up even around.
They had to leave, which is sad. I didn't get to say goodbye to like that whole group of people.
Either.
But there were people that weren't scared of throw up and were like jumping in and helping, and I've like passed off this glass of vomit to my other friend and was like, can you take this to the kitchen? So she takes the glass of vomit, and I remember so specifically looking at her like limp body on the couch and looking at the door that was 3 feet away and being like, could we not just
get her outside?
Like,
please?
And I don't think I was worried about it. Maybe I was a little, which honestly, if someone's vomiting in your house,
I think it's fine.
It's like, okay.
Let's try to at least either get you to the bathroom or outside. Like, you don't need to be throwing up on the couch.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. Not that I'm like...
But at this point, we didn't know,
you know
to the level of where it was going to go. At this point, I feel like we were like, oh, she's just really drunk.
Yeah.
We've seen people this drunk before. It's not crazy.
Oh, and this part really sucks. Do I say this part?
I think so. I think it's okay.
It's pretty crazy.
That's tell the story. I think it's fine.
So I'm like, well, can we get her outside? Like the doors, literally right there. So her friend, she's only here with one other person that she knows.
Only knew
like
one
she met
other
us
person.
briefly, but she came with someone she knew.
Yeah.
So her friend gets her to stand up, and now she's walking by herself out the back door. Well, I don't have a deck yet. I just have this like platform.
It's like you walk outside
my
and
door. There's like maybe 3 feet
and then
of deck.
Drop.
And then, yeah, definitely like not up to code drop. And her friend didn't walk with her. She's like drunkenly walking herself, and then she just falls off the ledge. It's pouring rain outside.
It's like muddy. Mud.
There's no grass or anything in this like part of my yard. So she's like fell
into the mud.
It's raining. She's like
pretty much was in the mud for 30 minutes.
Oh,
at least 30
minutes. Yeah. And so now our friend that's the nurse is out there. Our friend that's the EMT is out there.
They knew what to do. I was at that point. I was like, they can handle it.
Yeah, I was kind of tapped out too. I was like, I said this to Chris yesterday morning too. I was like, I don't know if this is wrong, but I feel like people kept trying to involve me, and I'm like, this isn't really my problem.
And me too. And like, yes, we were the hosts, but like,
but what do you want me to do?
And
like,
also, every time I was out there, I was like, there's too many people. This is too, like, if it was me,
it made it feel worse. If I was her, that would be making me like
and people,
more anxious.
Like guests at the party, like I would walk out there and just stand there and watch. And I'm like, okay, if you're not helping, like maybe just like leave the area, because people just standing around looking at her like it's a show isn't fun. Like I wouldn't, if you're helping, sure, but if you're just standing there watching, it's like, it felt weird. So at that point I was like, I just felt like me being there wasn't helpful. I'm gonna let them, like, especially with knowing that there was an EMT and a nurse. Like nurse is like, let me get Zofran for her. Like I'm like, you guys got that. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the party. And I kept coming back every once in a while just to like check. Yeah, and our other friend was like, you guys, like they need, like trying to pull us in. I'm like, but what do you want me to do? Like I'm like, there's nothing more. Like the trained professionals are out there. Like I don't know what you want me to do. And I still had to like host. Yeah, and like clean where she was just laying and like make sure the bathroom was okay. Like there was, while I was cleaning the bathroom, there was already multiple people that were like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I was like, well, sorry, out of commission right now. I don't like go outside. So yeah, that went on for probably about 30 minutes. And I was like going through another thing that I was trying to deal with at that point, and I was in the front yard with a few of our friends, just like we were sitting in the front talking. I was very much in like, I just want to like chill and chat. Like I don't know, in the beginning of the night I was like and then as the night went on I was just like, I don't know, like there was a lot happening. Yeah. And then who came and found me? I don't remember. Someone came and found me and they were like, oh, I think it was Christina Loren. She was like, they're requesting you to help. And I was like, okay. Okay, I'll go back there. So I like walk around the back. I think they told you the same thing. Well, at this point, I'm looking at the nurse and we're just like, at first the nurse and the EMT, I think were just like, they genuinely seemed like they were happy to help. Like they were like, oh, like, I think that if like that's I'm your like trained to do this, then you know, you like take some pride in it. Yeah. If I was trained and I knew what to do, I don't know what to fucking do. I don't know. But at this point, like, obviously she needs to go home.
but it's been 30 minutes. She can't keep down water. She can't hold her own head up. We tried to like get her up to move her, and like she's so limp and still so nauseous.
Pick them up, but there was no way.
Yeah, for the longest time we were waiting for the friend to get here, and then when the friend did get there, we like couldn't move her without her like choking on her own vomit, like basically.
And when someone's limp like that,
sorry,
you weigh like 1,000 more pounds.
Put like a vomit trigger warning on this.
I know, because there's gonna be vomit talk.
Now our friend can't listen.
Yeah, sorry. We should tell her don't listen to this week's episode.
So at first it seemed like they were like kind of happy to help, and then when we couldn't get her in the car and she still like was throwing up, I remember like, making this
just because you're an EMT and nurse, you're at a party, it's like goddamn.
Yeah, like I don't want to be locked into this. I remember making eye contact with her, and we just were like both over it. Like, okay, it's been long enough. We just need to call an ambulance. Like, if we can't move her ourselves,
was like, it's time.
She can't keep anything down.
You need to call an ambulance. And
that's the title of this episode. It's time to call the ambulance.
It's time to call the ambulance. Oh, that actually will be the title. So I come to the back, and they're like, someone call. I was the only one with a phone in my hand, so I was like, okay, I'll call.
She's dressed as Snooki, mind you. Like, she's like literally full on, could not be more Nicole Palizzi.
Fully Snooki, and I'm like literally calling 911, and they're like, address. I'm like, fuck, Kaylee, what's the address? So like, Kaylee and I are literally standing in the front answering the 911
like
questions on speaker with 911, and like she's literally like, okay. After we did like the main thing, she was like, okay, I called the paramedics. They're on their way. What I need you to do, and she's like giving me instructions. You need to not like, don't take your eyes off her. Watch her breathing. So I literally like stood next to her and I was watching her stomach go up and down to make sure that she was like, if her breathing literally changes speeds, you need to tell me. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't
whoa, like that's an intense job.
And she's like, if she like gets more awake, if she comes more out, like you need to be updating me with everything. I'm like, well, at that point, she has not moved at all. We have a blanket over her. There's literally leaves in her hair. There's mud on her. Like, she's on the ground where she fell. Yeah. Like, she has been in that position for 30 minutes.
Her headband is still in that spot.
Is it? Is there puke out there? Like, did it rain?
No, it rained so hard that night. I think it all washed away.
It washed away. Okay, well, that's lucky. Yeah. And then at that point, she's like, okay, they're on, which is, I probably shouldn't say that. Cut that out.
I was like, wait.
Cut that out.
But very quickly, it was like we were out there and we could literally hear the
sirens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking hell. And so, like, 3 paramedics walk back into the backyard. And
we're back here.
You know, they jump into the whole, like, can you hear it? Like, can you hear me saying her name?
Yeah.
And then one of the paramedics, who's actually he was kind of cute.
He was kind of cute, yeah. That was the first thing I noticed.
Yeah. And he was like, we're not cops, so we don't give a fuck. How much did she drink and what did she have tonight? And we're all just like, how old do you think we are?
Yeah.
I was like, do you think this is like a high school party? Like, we're not afraid to tell you we've been drinking. We're all of age.
Literally own the home.
Like, it's like, we're not like, and apparently she didn't have that much to drink, which doesn't really add up to me.
No,
I feel like
it doesn't really add up to me either.
Or I don't know if like
I don't know her life.
You could be on medication. Like I'm on medication, and if I drink to a certain extent, like I will literally black out
maybe she drank all of that like really fast.
Yeah, we don't know the specifics of it.
But at one point, the cute guy was like, "So, is she a lightweight?" And her friend was like, Apparently.
It was funny as fuck. Like, obviously, like, this was serious in the moment, but knowing that, like, she's okay, I feel like we can kind of, like, laugh about it now because
she's completely fine.
Like, she's completely
okay.
Fine.
And
like,
she's young, so she probably didn't have that bad of a hangover either.
Like, the fact that she was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like,
wait,
I would literally
be out of commission for so long.
For literal weeks. That would affect me for weeks, probably. Like,
but when they lifted her up, oh my God, the anxiety
would last forever. I'd be mortified. But best scenario to be at a party where you don't know anyone because, like, who cares?
Absolutely.
No one knew.
And, like, with a bunch of, like, public service workers.
Yeah. But people kept, like, the big group that came, like, just arrived. And they were like, what the fuck? My cousin and her boyfriend at one point were like, my cousin was giving her boyfriend a tour. And they go into the pod room, which the pod room has the door to the backyard. and it, like, you could see her on the ground. This is before things escalated. Like,
so funny.
Before
the paramedics are there.
are there. This is, like, earlier on in the situation.
Before things have escalated. They've escalated. We just haven't called 911.
Yeah. And her boyfriend was like, whoa, what's going on out there? And my cousin was like, oh, I think that they're doing a photo shoot or something.
That's such a crazy response.
And he was like, I'm pretty sure there's, like, throw up on her. Like, I don't think they're doing a photo shoot. And Jessie was like, my cousin literally was just like, oh, I think that it's okay. Like, she had no idea. It was so funny.
And while all of this is happening,
what the fuck? And one of the guys was like, he was like, wait, didn't this party just start? Like, whoa. And I'm like, well, it's been about 2 hours. At that point, it was literally only 11.
Yeah.
When we were calling.
And there was probably like 4 or 5 people that got here while
it was happening.
This was happening.
That's why it was such a weird timing. Like, it felt like
it was
kind of sucked.
The point in the night where the most people were all here at once was while this was happening. Yeah. And I think that's what really threw my night off. Like, it wasn't that it happened. Yeah, does that suck? Sure, but also shit happens. It's not like I haven't thrown up somewhere where I didn't want to throw up, or like been super drunk, or been the friend taking care of the drunk friend. Her poor friend was so stressed out. I'm so sorry. I was like, you are just being a good friend. Like, don't apologize.
When it gets to that level, like, it's not like anything was damaged. So why would you know, like, our priority is that
she's safe and okay. Yeah.
It's not like she broke a bunch of shit. Like, you know, like, it wasn't.
No, I like had to hose off a pillow and wash some towels. Like,
and all that matters is that she's okay. That's the priority, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they like get her up onto the like thing that she fell off, basically, and they were like,
her hair is like this, and there's leaves everywhere, and there's mud.
They were like, will you accept service? And she was like, fuck no.
No, they said, do you want to go to the emergency room? And she said, no.
She literally was like,
it was like the first thing she'd said in 30 minutes.
Literally. And they were like, well, we can't do anything if she's saying no. We can't, like, they cannot take her in an ambulance if you're conscious enough to say no. But it was literally the best case scenario because she has no bills. She's not having to pay any medical bills.
Yep.
But
and that's why we held off on 911 for so long. Like, the nurse kept being like to her friend, I don't know her situation, I don't know the deal, but like, I do feel like it's kind of time.
And we were all like, you do not want to be stuck with a fucking ambulance bill.
Yeah, if you're not from America.
Yeah.
We're talking no.
Shit's expensive.
So much money.
Like, and if she was in the hospital,
at least $1,000.
At least $1,000.
At
least $1,000 of a bill.
Oh, if she had to stay overnight, even more.
And yeah, but they were like, "What can we do?" And we were like, can you help carry her to the car? And they literally got her into the car. I think gave them some puke bags.
I will say, I didn't wait that long. It was like once they started carrying her away, I was like, okay,
we didn't take
I'm gonna go be host again.
Footage of the situation. Not that I would want footage of her, but like the fact that there was a fucking none
of us even thought to take a video of like the ambulance outside. Like, that's crazy. Yeah.
And he didn't post it anywhere public. And I'm like, I want.
Yeah, obviously we wouldn't want anything of her, but like, I wish I got a picture of Mariah like on the phone with 911 dressed as Snooki. Like,
yeah. I think we were so like stressed in the moment that we weren't thinking about it, but
it's only funny because she's so okay.
But they left, and I was back in the house, and I was like, went back into Kaylee's room, and I found our other friend locked in that room back there, and she was like really fucked up at this point. She's just like, is that girl gone? Like, she literally was hiding in that room until she was gone. Yeah. She was so freaked out by the whole thing.
Well, and she was stressed once we had to call people. I think
she was like scared we were gonna get in trouble. Like, we're not gonna
think about it. What, like 10 years? That's aggressive. Not 10 years of your life. You're not 11 when you're like partying. For, you know, a several year period of your life, you're used to this, like, in the back of your mind when you're out, like, partying or whatever, being like, oh my God, well, someone could show up and I could get in trouble.
Yeah.
So it can be like
when you're
upsetting.
When you're still in your early 20s, you still have that, maybe a little bit of that thought. And then you get older and you're like,
what are you going to do?
What's going to happen? So then the party continued, but like
She tucked herself into bed though.
Yeah, our friend was like,
She's like, I'm just gonna lay here for a while. And I was like, oh girl, like get into the covers. I passed her the remote. She's like, I'm just gonna watch Hubie Halloween.
She fucking turned on Hubie Halloween and got in bed. And literally, like, when I went back in to check on her, she was fully underneath the covers. Like, she was not coming out.
Oh, her head was under the covers.
She was fully under the covers. She was not coming out. I'm like, she was done for the night. Yeah. And then we kept leaving the door open, so people are still like walking around the party with that door open with her in bed. It was like pretty funny. But so many people had left because of during the ambulance thing that it dropped down to probably 15 people at that point.
Yeah. Well, 6 people left because of the throw up thing. Like that
was a big chunk.
That girl that couldn't be here during that. Group,
yeah.
Like, yeah.
And
which totally understandable. Just sucks because I was having fun with them.
I know. I didn't even really get to hang out with them. So then at that point too, we had like run out of alcohol. Mind you, we had like a pumpkin full of wine, an entire bottle of tequila mixed drink, a shit ton of seltzers.
Everybody that came
a pack
with
of something.
Yeah.
And gone in 3 hours, which that's pretty fucking crazy.
I do feel like that's pretty crazy.
Like maybe she drank it all. Fuck. Like who drank it all? I barely drank any of that. Where did it all go? I think
I had 2 seltzers and
like half of a
one
seltzer,
of the drink.
A martini.
Oh, I had 2 martinis when we got ready.
I had 1 martini, half of a seltzer, and a few sips of wine. That's literally all I had. And why was I hungover?
Oh, I did sip on wine for a while.
Like, that's so annoying.
We spent all of... Oh, it's so peaceful outside. We spent all of yesterday literally rotting in this exact spot. Phenomenal. It was so perfect, and it was like really raining outside, so we had the window open. And you know how when you're hungover, your body just like radiates heat?
Yeah.
But like... The air was on in here. The breeze was coming from outside.
It was beautiful. We
watched Scream, Scary Movie.
And then Scary Movie, which was funny to watch those back to back. And then I literally went home and like fell into the most insane anxiety-ridden night ever. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrific. I like, again, barely drank.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure there's more to it than just the alcohol, but I don't know. I did have like a pretty bad anxiety attack in the middle of the party.
That did have something to do with it, I'm sure.
It was really hard for me to like get out of that mindset. I'm sure I would have like I was literally at my peak fun, and then something happened and I literally fell into the most intense anxiety attack in the middle of the party, which I accepted it.
I was so busy. I had literally no idea this was happening.
I was like, I'm literally just gonna have to deal and not. I just have to accept that this is the night now. So I'm sure. Yeah, I remember thinking like, oh my god, my anxiety is literally gonna be so bad over this. It was eventful. I had so many people at work today be like, how was your Halloween party? And I literally didn't know what to say except for eventful.
Eventful is interesting.
I told my manager, he's literally like my bestie. At one point, he walked over to my desk and he was like, hey. And I was like, it's not a good day. And he was like,
it's not a good day.
The first thing he looked at me, he like thought it was work related, like a deal or something. Yeah. And I'm like, no, everything's fine with work. It's personal. And he was like, do you want to talk? And I was like, actually, yeah, I do. And we walked into his office and I closed the door. And because I was like, I just like actually want to talk to you about this because my manager has been open with me about his anxiety. And like me, he's like been fighting anxiety since he was literally like 8. Like he remembers having anxiety at a very young age. And he's in his 50s. So I feel like he's a great person to talk to about it. Like I want to tell someone who actually knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I talked it through with him, and then I told him about what happened here. Yeah. And I was like, well, like the ambulance literally came, and he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when I told my coworkers, they were like, oh.
Yeah, and he was like, my manager was like, so that's why you have anxiety, because you like partied. And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't really party though. Like I didn't.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a whole mix of things. Like work is really intense right now. What happened between the paramedics at the party, the other thing at the party, just generally like the buildup of the party coming and being like, oh my God, did enough people, like, are enough people coming? Is everybody having fun? You know, just like all that does a number on you.
We had so much in the past week too. And now it's like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, that's what I was really like when she got up off the couch yesterday. I knew you were getting ready to leave before you even brought your bag out of the bedroom. She like got up off the couch and I was like, oh no. And then she came back with her bag and I was like, oh. Like the idea of everything being over, neither one of us do well with that. And for literally the past week, we've been like, oh my God, we said it on the last episode. Yeah. We're like, we have so much fun coming up. And now it's like Halloween night.
Oh, we literally still have to tell them about Royal Otis.
Wait.
Yeah. Because it's only been a week since Royal Otis.
When did we record the last one?
The Saturday before Halloween Town.
Oh.
Before we talked about how we were going to Royal Otis, how we were going to get in line early, how I was going to wear my shirt.
Oh my God, we literally manifested
everything that we said on the pod last week about what we wanted to happen literally happened.
I didn't listen to the episode until after the concert. Well, obviously it didn't drop until after the concert.
Yeah.
But I was listening back to it and I was like,
we literally manifested
We literally did. It was crazy. I feel that that's your story to tell and you should go for that.
So we got in line at like 2. Literally, we get there at 2. We are walking from the car. We're like about to turn the corner, and we're like, okay, either there's going to be a line or there's going to be no one. It could literally go either way.
I love that feeling.
Literally no idea what to expect. And we turn the corner. We don't see anyone. There's no one outside of the fucking venue.
The tour bus is literally right out front.
No one.
No one in line.
We're like, oh my God. So we're getting closer, and this girl pops up.
All I see is these little feet around the corner. I was like, oh, there's one person here.
There's one person in line. She like pops up. She's like, hey. Actually, this is the person that we met at the concert that
came to the party.
And so we like fully bonded with her like you do in line at concerts. It's just a fun bonding experience. And we were like, we're literally going to be hanging out for hours.
And we came like ready to go. We had snacks. We had cards.
Drinks.
We had a speaker. We were ready.
We were ready for line life. And we're barely there, and already one of the band members is like walking, and we're just like, that's Royal, that's Roy right there, that's fucking Roy. And he got onto the tour bus, and we were just like, oh my God, he's on the tour bus. Otis is probably on the tour bus. Oh my God, it was crazy. And we were literally just outside of the tour bus listening to their music, drinking.
What a strange experience.
It was
to be them.
So and weird for us in that sense of like, wait, what? Like, you know how weird it is to be like in line for a band that I'm literally obsessed with, and listening to their music, and they're literally 5 feet away inside their bus, literally right there.
You can just like see it's so tinted,
but you can see
all you can really see is like their little heads like bobbing around
in there. We're like, what are they doing? Oh my God, can they even see us? Can they hear us? Like,
and the singer is so cute.
Yeah, if you don't know Royal Otis, I highly recommend you go listen or look them up. They're not like super big in the US, so it was cool to be able to have that experience because they're going to just keep getting bigger, and you probably won't be able to like be that close to them in the future. And
you could tell like later on in the story, it's very obvious that like this is a new thing. They're them. Like they're kind of shy.
They're still
like,
getting used to the fame.
So you guys are here for us?
Thing, and they like come off the bus, and we all just like we
were trying to be cool. So we just like turned and made eye contact. And
their concert. Obviously, we're fucking fangirls. Like. And they come out, and like Otis is like lighting a cig, and their photographer's taking like pictures of them. Like I think we're in the background of those photos.
Oh, we definitely are. I'm waiting
and then
for those to get posted.
They fucking walk right by.
Mariah's hiding her shirt that says "My boyfriend's literally on stage."
I have a jacket
she's like
covering it, and because it needed to be like more of a reveal later in the night, and they like walk by us like we don't say anything, and they just like walked up. They literally walk right past us, and we're just like.
Yeah, at first it was like they made eye contact, we made eye contact, and we got like a shy wave. It was like.
They were like, hey, like, we have good music.
Right, I was holding on to me like those.
I was like, literally
stand up straight.
Dying. They walk by us, and then they, like, we're like, oh, they're probably going on a walk, or they went to get food. Like, we don't know. They were gone for fucking ever.
They were gone for
So we were like, but they have to come
back.
back. And when they come back, we're asking for a photo. We're talking to them. Like, we missed that first opportunity. We're not going to miss it again, and they must come back. And I don't know how long. It was
probably like an hour and a half. And then we made these new friends in line. By the time they got back, it was still only us, and then, well, our friend had joined us.
Our friend joined us.
And then this dad and son from Alaska who literally flew in for the son's
For his
birthday.
son's 18th
his 18th
birthday.
birthday.
His
The
favorite
dad was
band.
so sweet.
Dad
like
was so cool.
Dad was doing everything he could to make sure his
He
son
was,
had like the best night
taking
ever.
photos of his son with all of us. Like it was just so cute. We're talking about our favorite Roy Otis songs.
I would have died if I was the kid though, and the dad was like, "Can I get a picture of you guys?" I'm
I
like,
know.
"Oh."
But he was like,
But it was so
he
sweet.
seemed like into it.
He did.
Then we could like, the band like comes around the corner. We're like, oh my God, they're here.
Well, we put the dad on lookout.
Yeah. Oh yeah, on one side. And then he comes back, he's like, I don't see them. And then they come around the other side and we're like, oh my God, it's them. And the dad's like, should I go say something? And I'm like, we were like, yeah.
Yes,
You go make sure that they know we want photos. And so he goes, his son goes, they take a photo down the street. Then they're coming and walking and we were like, hey, can we get a photo? So we take photos. All of us do our photos with them, which was so cute. And if you know, like, Roy always hides his face. It's so funny that Roy is like so like this and Otis is like
Yeah.
And then we were playing it, like we were in the middle of playing a drinking game, so like we were like, you guys have to pull the next card. And so they
I'm so proud I thought of that idea. Like
Yeah.
I was like, and then we checked the card
We knew what
beforehand
the
to
card
see like what
was.
the card was.
So Otis picks it and it's like the last person to strike a sexy pose drinks or something. And I
But
have
he
a video.
he didn't read the word last.
Yeah.
So it was
He
like awkward for a
confused.
second.
He was
Like everyone was confused.
He's like looking around like, wait, what do I do?
and then none of us wanted to pose until he had posed.
And then he did like a little like thing, and I have it on video, kind of like I was trying to like nonchalantly take a video, and I also was trying to be respectful of Roy and not get Roy on the video because I know he doesn't like to be on camera, his face at least. And then Roy picked a card, and it was like a slang word for penis, and we went around the circle.
We had to
saying
go around the
slang
circle.
word for penis. So they like played that with us for like 2 seconds, and then we said goodbye, and like shortly after that. I don't want to even say this on here because I don't even want people to know.
Yeah, no, don't say it.
Because we're doing that for role model.
Oh.
I know that changes everything. We need to talk about that, but that's really a long ways away, so
Oh
we have time.
my god.
I know.
Oh my god.
I know. So one of the people that works there told us this little hack, and we're not going to share because it's like I don't want people to know.
Yeah, gatekeeping that for
yes.
sure.
And so we're in this other area because we were the first people there, and we were like, the guy was like, you guys are going to be the first people in because he knew how dedicated we were to like being barricade. So we're like, it's like at this point, we're about to be let into the venue. It's like basically almost 6:30. We're about to be let into the venue. This band is sitting outside right next to a line of people about to see their concert, just chilling on the sidewalk smoking cigs. I'm like
now there's a line outside.
Now there's a
and
line.
then there's a line
where we were.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the fact that they're able to just stand right next to the line and not have anyone like talk to them.
Oh my
or,
god,
like,
and we were talking to them through the windows.
We were like taking photos with them through the windows. Kaylee and I were trying to get photo with Otis, like of his back, and then we were like trying to.
I was like trying to
say
tell him that I
stuff.
wanted to smoke with him.
Yeah, we were like, we want to smoke with you, and we're like doing this, and he's like, and like holds up a cigarette, and we were like, Kaylee was like,
I was like pointing to my bag. I was like, no,
no, we have J's. Like, Kaylee does not smoke, and she was like, honestly, if it's with Otis, maybe I will. I was like,
I'll do
I'll do it for him. Like, fuck.
I'll smoke that man's cigarette.
I would literally do anything. And so the room that we were in, like you couldn't open the door from the outside. So he like comes, they're about to go back into this, what's it called, venue. And he like comes around to the door and like we had to
like
open
let it in
for him. And
he was like obviously wanted to talk to us.
This man is so shy. He's like, hey, and I was like, do you want to smoke a J with us? And he was like, I can't before the show. And I was like, after the show? And he was like, no. I was like, it's okay. I shot my shot. Like, I did that. I tried. And we were like, okay, well, we'll see you in there. We'll be the ones in front. And he was like, okay, we'll see you in there. Literally, center front row barricade.
Oh, my God.
Literally center barricade. Like, actually fucking mad. At this point,
crazy.
I take my jacket off. They haven't seen my shirt yet, which I thought was so fun because it was, like, kind of a surprise when they were on stage. I really loved it because, like, Roy fully saw us in the front row and like he gave us a lot of attention. Like he kept coming up to us and like dancing and like playing his guitar like at us, like because you know we're his girls. Like he was giving us
we
the
ride
time
for
we
Roy.
deserved. And we're literally just having the time of our lives. Like
at one point it got quiet and
it got fucking dead quiet.
And I yelled I don't even remember what I said.
You said strike a sexy pose, didn't you?
No. Did I say pecker? I yelled like some slang term for.
But didn't you say
penis.
another word for penis or something like that?
Oh, that's what I said.
Yeah. What's another word for penis or something? And they both laughed.
Yeah.
They both like giggled to themselves.
And then one of Roy said something. I can't remember what he said.
I can't remember what he said,
but he came up with another one. It was like he had been thinking about it more.
Yeah.
He was like, oh yeah, I've got another one now.
Like, I have one ready. So there was a lot of, like, I felt like banter. And like, honestly, I don't know what's going on behind me. For all I know, it's us and them. It's for me. This is a private show.
I didn't look behind me a single time.
I didn't know how fun the crowd was until I saw the fucking clips they posted. And I was like, whoa, the crowd was fucking crazy. I had no idea. For all I knew, everyone was quiet and standing still behind us. And we were the only ones dancing. I didn't know. I never turned around. And so, like, we're just, like, having literal time of our lives dancing, singing. Like, it's so fun. And during one of the, like, talk breaks.
So much eye contact happening.
So much eye contact. It was crazy. Like, singing the lyrics while looking into Otis's eyes while he sang the lyrics was literally a dream come true. Actually, fucking mad.
He's so cute.
He's everything. And so he literally, and one of the, like, Roy was asking, like, it's a Sunday night, who's working or whatever, like, talking. And then Roy stops, and then Otis was like, who's your boyfriend? Are you fucking kidding me? He knew
the answer. He knew the answer.
And I was like, you are. And the whole band laughed. They were all like, oh, like, that's, like, they all thought it was so funny. And then they, like, went straight into a song, and I literally, like, fell to the floor. I was just like, oh my God. Did that actually fucking just happen to me? Because that's what my dream was every time I wear the shirt, is that the artist sees it and they, like, comment on it. But I've never been front row like that. Yeah. So it's the first time that I've been able to wear that shirt and have the person that I want to fucking comment on it.
So what about when Tucker reads it?
Stop. Stop. I actually, like, fucking can't imagine him seeing it and, like, commenting. Oh my God. But then, like, they do their final song right before they go off the stage for the encore. And, like, I catch Otis's eyes, and I was like, the set list. And he was like, okay, yeah. And I was like, oh my God. Like, he fucking agreed.
Wait.
He, like, agreed to give me the set list. I'm locked in. They go off stage. We were such a fun crowd. We're all, like banging the ground, like, clapping for them to come back out. They come back out and do 2 more songs. They were so fucking cool, like, lighting cigarettes on stage. Like, they were just,
they sounded
they were
so
an
good
actual
too.
fucking rock band. Yeah. Like, that is, like, a real band, and I just love.
Yeah, Roy with his hair too, like, really.
They actually rocked.
You guys
they
rocked.
Actually, yeah, they fucking rocked, like, actually. And the, like, show ends, and I was, like, reminding Otis, I'm like, the set list. And he literally is, like, about to come grab it for me. He, like, is going to pick it up before they even did their, like, final bow, like, photo moment. And he's like, oh shit, I gotta do
Then he's like, oh wait, I have responsibilities right now.
The band did his thing, and then he, like, grabbed the set list and, like, passed it to me. It was very, like, this is for you moment. It was, like, fucking crazy. And he hands it to me, and I was like, thank you. And then I blew him a fucking kiss. Like, I don't even know. I didn't even think about it. It was just, like, an instinct.
It just came out.
To blow him a kiss as he walked away. And he's, like, walking backwards. He fucking, like, trips, like, stumbles over himself, which I'm fully telling myself that he's like,
so frazzled
by my kiss. Like, that he literally stumbled. And, like, he was so cute about it. And, like, so, and there was a little bit of a sweat on that paper. It's hanging on my wall.
Yeah, there was a little sweat drop.
I held on to that for dear life for the rest of the night. And
yeah, it was raining outside. We were like, oh my God, we need to wrap the
we
set
wrapped it
list.
in the shirts that we got at merch. And yeah, it was literally,
well, then we talked to the opener. The openers were downstairs selling merch. And we talked to one of them, and they looked at you, and they were like, you were in the front row, right?
You were in the front row. And I was like, yes. Oh my God.
That was me.
That was me. And yeah, their names were Frico, and I'm, like, really excited to dive into their music because they were fucking
really good. They were, like, really good.
And I'm like, oh, like, when you listen to an opener that's good, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go, like, listen to all your shit because like, that was fucking insane. If you're that good live, what does your fucking music sound like? Jeez. So it was a full
Frico's
on.
A cool name too.
It was a full on fantasy night that I just can't
believe.
Yeah,
that was a crazy night.
I can't believe that happened. And then we had Sweat Tour.
And then we went to Sweat.
On Tuesday. It was Roy Otis on Sunday, Sweat Tour on Tuesday. That was fucking fun as shit. It was literally a fucking club.
Sweat was so fun.
Was sweating.
Yeah, we, like, went to little drinks before with our friends, and then the concert was just absolutely crazy. So fun. And Charlie was like, I'm not even just saying this because I say it at every show. You guys actually.
Yeah, she's like, I never say this, you guys.
Portland, you actually might be one of my favorite crowds ever.
Yeah. And her and Troy kept commenting on, like, how insane we were. And I was like, this is crazy. But then I kept seeing TikToks of people being like, literally, that she's only said this in Portland.
Yeah.
And I think coming off of California, like,
Well,
Cali
they
crowds
sucked.
aren't great.
Because everyone thinks they're too cool. Yeah.
It's like Chapel being like,
no, we're not too cool up here.
No, we're actually fans.
You're not fun.
It's literally that. And then it was basically like, get ready for the fucking Halloween party.
Yeah, everything between sweat and the party was just like chaos. Yeah. And the party was chaos. And now I'm back at work. And that sucks.
Jesus, it's already been 50 minutes.
No.
So I'll tell my anxiety story from today. So obviously last night was Sunday, and so that was the day after the party that we talked about. And when I got home, it was like full anxiety, dread. It was just like the worst type of anxiety in my opinion. Like I want to throw up. I literally won't be able to eat I won't be able to keep anything down. All I can think about, nothing will like be able to pull me out of these thoughts. I just have to like write it. And I took like an edible and got in bed at 7:30 and fell asleep, and then woke up at 10:30 and was like, what the fuck? And then I don't know when I went back to sleep. But then when I woke up, I was just like the pit in the stomach. Nausea. It was horrible. My whole drive to work, I was literally just focusing on keeping it down.
Oh,
I was on 205.
That's such a horrible feeling.
Just wait. I haven't told Kaylee this. This is new for her too. I was on 205, like, I don't know it's basically of the part of the freeway where it's like 2 lanes and there's not a lot on the sides. So
there's nowhere to pull over.
Yeah, and I was like, do I try to pull over? That feels more dangerous. To pull over and open the door to start throwing up. I don't think I should do that. And then I literally was like sitting there like, if I throw up, I'm just going to have to throw up in the car. Like I'm literally just going to have to go to the side and let it be in the car because I don't know what to do. I just have to focus on not crashing the car and not hitting somebody. That's the priority, not throw up and where it goes. And it kept getting worse and worse. And I was like, it's going to happen. So I literally threw up in my car like this. While I'm watching the road and throwing up onto the side, and it's like going down onto the floor, and it like kind of it was mostly like because I hadn't really eaten water, like watery throw up more than anything, and like some of it got on my pants, and I literally was like, do I call in and tell my manager like I literally just threw up in the car, like I can't come in? But I was like, no, I'm just gonna go in, like I literally like I'm just gonna go. So I like went, parked, and the only thing I had in my car was like one of those, not like a reusable mask, but one of those paper masks.
Paper mask.
Not paper.
Not reusable. A cloth.
I guess it is reusable. It is reusable, but it's not like a cloth mask. It's like one of those ones that you get like a pack of. You get a pack of 10 or whatever. Yeah. And I had one in the center, so I'm like using that to try to clean it off. So this is gross, but like literally in my car right now, there's some like potatoes that you fed me the other day, and then I found the whole. It came up whole. My probiotic pill. It literally looks like a fucking pill. It's literally on the floor. You would think that it wasn't in my stomach, but it was.
Oh my god.
So I threw out my probiotic pill. I go into work and I have to like sit through my morning meetings. I had like big meetings this morning.
This is crazy.
And it's not going away. So I go to the bathroom, throw up more at work. And then right after that was when my boss came up to my desk, and then we went into his office and I told him all of that. I was like, I literally have been throwing up. He's like, do you need to like go clean your car out? And I'm like, honestly, I'm not even worried about my car. I just like don't want to feel like this anymore. And we're on the same meds. We were like talking about our experience with meds, and he was, just like kind of talking me through it a little bit. And basically I just like had to push through my day feeling like that.
Oof.
So it was not a good day. I still have really bad anxiety. I'm just like, it's gonna pass. But it just sucks that this is always gonna be a part of me, and there's always gonna be days that I feel this type of anxiety. And if you have the type of anxiety it's not like, oh, I'm really stressed because I have XYZ, or it's literally like nothing in real life matters. The anxiety is literally dread. And the only thing I can ever think of to describe it is when in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, when she gets pulled into the fucking like darkness and like there's nothing good, there's no hope, it's all darkness. That's what it feels like. It's like, what is the point of living? Because there's only darkness. Like there's never gonna be light ever again. That's literally what it feels like, and it just feels like death.
Jesus.
And I don't want to live like that. It sucks. My manager's like, maybe you need to up your meds. I'm like, I don't want to fucking up my meds more. Like I just upped my meds not that long ago.
Yeah.
So I just like, and I just have to like go home and go back to work tomorrow because I have so much. And if I can't take a personal day, I can't take time off because in the job I'm in,
it doesn't matter that you're off the clock.
You can't take a break. Like if I take a break, that's less money for me. If I take a break, I could lose a deal. I could lose a client. Like, I just don't know how people. Last week on Thursday, I had a panic attack at work, and I literally have 4 managers, in my building, and one of my managers came up to my desk, and I was like leaned forward, just focusing on breathing and not throwing up, because that's what I do when I get panic attacks. And she was like, "What's your heart rate?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know my fucking heart rate. I don't have an Apple Watch." And she literally took her Apple Watch off and put it on me, and my fucking resting heart rate was 110 at my desk. I literally was sitting there and it was fucking 110. And she was like, "This is not sustainable. Like, you can't function like that."
Yeah.
And she's literally like the most amazing fucking human on the planet. She like made sure I had water, and then she literally went into her office, got her yoga mat, walked me to our green room, put the yoga mat on the ground, put my phone on the other side of the room, told me not to look at my phone, turn off the lights, and told me to sit in there for 10 minutes just thinking about my breath. And I literally laid on the floor on the yoga mat and just like breathed for 10 minutes with my eyes closed. And I don't know, I'm just so thankful for her. Like, I just have like really great managers that
I was just gonna say,
like really
this
fucking
could be, especially like in the business you're in, could be so much worse. Like the people you work with could genuinely just not give a fuck that you feel that way, couldn't care less, could throw it back in your face, like when shit doesn't go the way anyone like wants it to go, you know?
Yeah.
Like the fact that you have people there
that
are supporting you and understanding.
I left that day and I was like, I want to buy her something. I want to like write her a fucking letter being like, when I walked back into her office to give her a yoga mat, I was like, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you as like she's my manager, but she literally said to me, she was like, all this bullshit doesn't matter if you're not okay. And I was just like, whoa. But she's also the type of person who will sit you down and be like, you need to work harder. You need to do this.
Yeah.
You're not like working as hard as you could be. But then she'll still like, she can do both.
Mm-hmm. I love a person that can do both.
She's literally, I genuinely think one of the most amazing human beings I've ever met. And I just look up to her. She's only 39. It's not like she's like this older woman that has, you know, like she's still young and she has this ability to be a mom of 2 kids like under the age of 6. One who has really bad diabetes, and like she literally has like her daughter's like on her Apple Watch gets notified if her blood sugar drops like to a certain level. So like we'll be in meetings and she'll be like, I gotta go like call the school. Like while she's managing not only our office, 2 other markets, she has fucking like 40 AEs that she manages and her own shit. But then like being able to do that with grace and also care about, I just think I don't think I could ever handle that because I don't know, like I'm way too in my head too, like Pisces water sign, like I have the air sign in me. I'm like up here in my head a lot. I'm not a grounded person, not in that way, but like I think I'm like grounded in,
I get what you're saying,
some way, but like I'm not grounded in my mental state like at all. And she's like, she's a Taurus, and she's literally like when you're around her, you're like, oh, she's like the earth. Like she can pull you back down to earth and be like, this is real, not that stuff up there.
Yeah,
like that's not real. She just is the most, I don't know what I would do without her. And I mean, my other manager is really great too. Like he obviously understands anxiety on a different level He's going through a lot in his life. I don't know, but it's been really challenging. And every day at work, I'm like, how long can I do this? Like, how long can I handle this job before it fucking kills me? Because, yeah. I mean, I've talked to other AEs that have been doing it for years, and they're like, literally my first year on the job, I cried every day, like, at my desk. Like, every day. It was just trying to get to my car before I broke down so I didn't break down at my desk. And I'm like, but why are we living like this?
Yeah, why are we doing that to ourselves?
But why are we doing this? And it's like, I understand that it's part of a lot of jobs, it's part of life in a lot of ways. Like, that's just what it is. But, like, I went to Trader Joe's today, and I was like, I just want a job where I clock in and just, like, do, not that it's easy to do those jobs, it's just different because you clock in, then you clock out, and when you clock in, you have a list of tasks. Nothing is dependent on you. It's like, you're not in charge of anyone's money. I just want to go in, work, clock out, but then
literally be able to leave work at the door.
Yeah, but then you don't have, like, the ability to have these different kinds of benefits and this ability to grow into these other areas and make more money if you want. So it's like, I guess you just have to pick and choose. And I'm about to hit my year on Wednesday at the job, which is fucking insane. And I'm just if I'm not doing the best, I'm failing. Like, I want to be the best, and I'm not. And so in my head, I'm like, well, I'm not fucking doing enough, and I'm not fucking doing it good because I'm not the best. But everyone I work with has been fucking doing it for decades. So I don't know why I compare myself to them, but it's hard not to, because you're thrown into the same bucket. It doesn't matter how long you've been on the job. You're competing with it. It's a competitive job. You are competing. We're a team, but we are competing against each other. Every week on Monday morning, there's a scoreboard that we look at and who's made what. And I'm not at the bottom right now, which is woo. But
it's like Dance Moms.
What?
It's like Dance
Moms.
It
is. Who's at the bottom of the pyramid this week? I would be at the bottom of the pyramid. I'm at the very bottom, but I'm still at the bottom. But it's weird to be in a job where you're, like, being literally compared to someone who's in their 50s and have been selling since they got out of college.
Yeah.
And have been able to make relationships with people to the point of where, well, when you get older, of course, you know business owners because you've been in the industry for so long and they're your age. Yeah. I'm talking to business owners that could be my parents. So it's just different. And it's weird. It's just, I don't know. There's only 2 other people my age on our team. Everyone else is older, at least 40.
I would literally crumble at your job in one day.
And then also, I want to pursue this in the group to such a bigger level than we're doing it now. But, like, how? When?
That exists at the forefront of my brain at literally every hour of the day. And it's, you know that feeling, I mean, I'm sure you do because you feel the exact same way, but it's, like, exhausting just to even exist in that way.
Yeah. I just want to feel...
Even when you're not doing anything extra, or, like, just to have that extra weight is so depleting.
Yeah.
And every day I have these intentions of, like, things I want to do.
Yeah.
And then I get home from my real job and I'm like, oh, shit.
Like, I don't. Yesterday, and it's not the same because even though, like, we're resting, it's like, I'm never actually resting. But I genuinely haven't had, like, a week where I just, like, oh, I'm done with work. I'm going to go home and, like, chill. Whoa. My earrings.
Yeah.
It's like I go home and sit down and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I probably should, like, edit a TikTok or, like, edit the podcast, or, like, I need to post more on YouTube Shorts, or I probably should post a reel. I need to engage more with the audience on Instagram. Oh, should I jump in the Discord? Oh, shit, we need to be communicating with this business so we can plan this. And it's just like, how...
Oh, shit, we need to figure out December.
I know, I made a list today of the to-dos that we need to do urgently. Because I was, like, so stressed out today that I was like, let me
brain dump.
Yeah, let me organize my list for the pod and for the group. Let me organize my to-do list for work. And then, like, let me organize my to-do list for literally just being a human. Doctor's appointments, because I fucking have doctor's appointments literally all the time. And so, like, I did like that. I called this referral I had for this new psychiatrist, and I got that book today.
Hey.
So, but I need to vote. That's
huge.
It's sitting on my counter.
It's sitting on my table right there because I hid it for the party, and then I was like, oh, I need to do that.
Yeah, I need to vote. But then, and I was saying this to my mom, like, listing all the things I have to do, and she goes, okay. Voting will take you literally 5 minutes. You know who you're going to vote for. That's literally not hard. And I was like, okay, I know. It's literally
really,
just like,
I feel like voting's so hard.
I
know who I want for president. It's everything else.
Yeah. There are certain... I've done I think I know already the measures and stuff because I've already looked into that. But, like, I don't know. Also, if you're really lost and you don't even know, you can use ChatGPT and say, like, what does this measure? What are the pros and cons? Who's running for this? What do they say? Like, you can get recaps on what everything is really quickly, really digestible, to help you just learn more about, because in my opinion, the verbiage they use is confusing as fuck.
It's inaccessible.
So I literally, if I read the measures on the ballot, I'm like, what? What the fuck is this?
I'll think something's good, and then I'll, like, call my dad and ask about it, and I'll be like, well... He'll explain it in a different way, and I'm like, oh.
Like, who wrote these ballots? Is there, like, a bias involved? Like, I don't know.
I think that's the issue, is the language is attempting to be unbiased, so that it makes it more confusing.
It's confusing. Being an adult is really fucking hard.
It really is.
It's really, like, the more older I get, the more I, like, will look at young people and be like, I really just wish I was young again. Not that I'm not young, but, like, young to when your problems are, like, the paper I have to write and the guy that I'm going to walk down the hallway past tomorrow.
Oh, I do miss that problem. I can feel myself...
and fucking health insurance shit is due in, like, 2 weeks. I have to, like, register for
your open enrollment?
My open enrollment is literally expires on the 7th.
That's pretty quick, though.
Takes me forever to
that
do
was
that
like
shit.
A big task on my brain like a week or two ago, and then
I have to change. We got all new insurance, so I have to literally change insurance.
Oh, that's right.
And update all my shit. I just fucking hate it. I don't want to fucking deal with insurance and taxes, and I hate it.
I just think that this all comes back to how, like, capitalism just rules our society and ruins our lives. I can feel myself, I'm, like, actually really, I'm scared of it. I was thinking about it on my way to work and my way from work today. Remember, like, 2 years ago when I was really down bad about work, like, crying literally every day? I can feel it coming.
I hate when you could feel it coming.
I woke up this morning and I was just so pissed off that I had to be there. And then I was like, okay, well, all I have to do is make it through the day. And then I was like, but that's not true, because then I'll get to the end of the day and I'll get home and then I'll be like, oh my God, I have to do it tomorrow. And then I was like, okay, but there's no school on Friday, so all I have to do is make it to Thursday. And then I was like, okay, but not really, because then I make it to the weekend and then I have to go back on Monday.
Yeah. It never ends.
Like, it just literally never ends. We're going to go to work for the rest of our lives. I'm sorry. That wasn't a helpful thing to say to you. I'm so sorry.
No, it wasn't.
I'm so sorry.
But I'm not going to do what I'm doing for the rest of my life, so.
Yeah, that helped. That's a helpful thought, I bet.
But what am I going to do? Marry rich. The older I get, the more appealing that
she's
sounds.
Never said that before.
I have. Like, the older I get, the more I'm like, I get it. That sounds fucking amazing. To be with someone who fucking, you can just be on their insurance. They do the fucking shit. They have a fucking CPA that does your taxes, like, because they can afford that. Like, I get it. That does sound fucking appealing, but I literally I will always want to work. Like, in whatever capacity.
I had that thought.
It
today
is.
Too.
I'm just gonna have to do something. Like, maybe it's literally posting a podcast every week, but that's still something. Like, I'll never get to the point where I won't do anything. Like, I just couldn't handle that. But I don't know.
It's rough. My goal in life is just to be like one tier higher than I am now on like the financial comfort level of just like right now I can comfortably like live a relatively frugal life.
Mm-hmm.
Not super frugal, but like relatively.
Yeah.
I want to be like the can afford to go on a trip more than once every 2 years, pay someone to do my taxes, pay someone to paint the goddamn house because I'm never painting a fucking house ever again. Like,
it would be nice to, when there's something to do, to be done, you were like, I'll just hire someone to do it.
Oh my God, I would literally give anything.
Yeah.
And I'm so lucky that I have a dad that can like do most things for me. But my dad has a job too.
Yeah, you can't
so
just
I
call
can't
him up
always
whenever
just
you
be
want,
like, Dad, can you do this?
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way.
So that's that.
Okay,
What an
well,
episode.
What is one thing you're going to do for yourself when you go home today?
Hang out with my mom.
Oh,
Makes me want to cry.
that was so sweet and pure.
Uh-oh.
You do have a great mom.
Yeah, and yesterday I was like, she was like, I'm going to dinner, and I'm like, no, don't leave me. I'm like, I need you here.
Oh.
And then I like started spiraling about like, what will I do without her someday?
Oh.
It's like really when I feel like this, she's like the only person that I want to be around. I just instantly feel better with her. She like played with my hair yesterday, and I just like laid there.
Oh my God, is that not
and I was
the
just
best
like
thing in the
literally
world?
crying, and she was like, "It's okay, everything's gonna be fine." Like, oh God, what did I do to deserve her? I don't know. Oh, Rachel's here.
How lucky are you? Rachel Slay.
Is the door unlocked?
I think it is. Oh, no, it's not.
Timing is crazy.
Wait, is my hat here?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
After sweat.
Wait, are you okay?
You like came in at a crazy time.
Like, insane timing.
It's okay. We're literally done. And we were closing it out. Do you want to say anything
Oh, hey.
on the pod?
Hey guys. Oh, let me make myself comfortable.
We were talking about anxiety, and I was talking about the anxiety I've had today, and I started crying.
Felt that.
Yeah, it's pretty
Had a lot of
bad.
anxiety since Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sure. I feel like it's the drinking, man. It sets us all on a...
It's like days of just dread
Mhm.
after it. I just can't drink like that. Well, I didn't even drink that much.
That is true.
I didn't even
Yeah.
drink that much, and I literally am like, how am I ever gonna come back from this feeling ever? So that's what I'm gonna do tonight.
Hang out with your mommy.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
I just called my mom.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, shout out Rachel's mom.
What do you do to help with yours?
I was waiting for you to say shout out Rachel's dad.
Hi, Rachel's dad. He's happily married, but it's okay.
So happily, like what? I actually decided on my thing when you were on your way here.
Oh.
Which is like a good thing for me and a bad thing for me. But I'm releasing myself from being upset with myself for not working out today. I've decided
That's good.
to make a trade because doing all of the things I needed to do and working out felt like too much. So I said, okay, Kaylee, you don't have to work out if you do A, B, and C. So I'm going to take some things off my list, make myself feel a little better, and like just release myself from whatever this stupid like standard is.
I know. How dumb.
But it is bad because I'm always finding an excuse not to work out. That's the real issue. But it's okay because today it's helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta pick and choose.
Yeah.
Do what's best for you. Take it a day at a time. That's what I need to do. Focus on is it's one day at a time versus thinking of my whole life always at once. Like literally thinking of my entire life every single day. Like, why am I thinking about 30 years from now when that's literally 30 years from now? Like, let me just focus on tomorrow or today.
Tonight. Right now.
Because being present is my biggest issue. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, you and I are similar in that way.
I can never be present.
Being present is a gift that not all receive.
Oh.
I just made that up.
Really?
But I think it's from somewhere. I just
it
thought,
actually does sound familiar.
I think the present is a gift is a thing, but I just thought, but we don't all receive it all the time.
That's so true.
Like, it actually just made me feel a little better.
Maybe we should like gift it to ourselves a little more.
Oh.
Yes.
We should probably
I
end
gift
here.
it to you.
Let's end on that note.
Yeah, that was a good note.
Drop
Yeah.
the mic.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yo!
I'm in my sweat merch, just letting everyone know.
We talked about sweat.
We went to sweat.
Oh my god.
We told the whole Halloween party story.
everything?
Kind of.
Oh my god, T.
Yeah, mostly.
We didn't say any names.
Oh yeah, no names on this pod.
No.
No.
Only sometimes. Only when it's the last.
Only the
Only when
last.
it's necessary.
Oh my god, I have to show you a picture.
Oh god. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening or watching the It's Time podcast. I'm Mariah. That is Kaylee, and that is Rachel. We have new episodes every Wednesday. We will see you next time. Bye. Oh, you walking up as I was like,
Dude,
literally.
I thought you were gonna say like, oh, there's Anna or
oh my
something.
god, I'm gonna be on the podcast.